Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the new moon in Pisces. Welcome if you are new to the channel. Welcome back if you love me. I love you too. I want to talk about this new moon really quickly before we get into the secret code names, the scandalous soul secrets within the self that we are exposing to the self so that we can address it. If you guys go to the YouTube page, let's see if I can actually get this to work so you guys can see what I see. Camera, don't fail me now. It might. It might. But if you go to the YouTube page, right? The YouTube channel with me and Miss Tonya. If you scroll over from home and videos and shorts and lives to community, I did a new moon in Pisces post. It looks like this. There we go, camera. Hey. It looks like this. And when you read more, I did a whole thing on this new moon's energy and what it's about. And it has a lot to do with acknowledging the feminine energy within the self, and that our mind, our masculine energy within the self, has the ability to choose in alignment with our highest good as individuals, and how that ultimately, if we were all to act in alignment with ourselves, that everything would fall into place as far as freeing what is essentially mankind, right? If only everybody in the world focused on healing themselves, right? The whole world would heal. This really starts to break down structure. You know, we're dealing with this new moon in Pisces. We've got Saturn and Neptune sandwiching the two of them. And we've got Jupiter and Uranus creating this triple trine energy with Lilith and Juno in Virgo and Ceres in Capricorn. And all of these different alignments with Mars squaring Uranus and different things that are taking place that really ask us to get out of this hopelessness that we feel collectively, and to start really visualizing what it would be like to step into a new reality. You know, if you woke up and started to see the world shift for the better instead of worse, right? If you could see it happening from a perspective that it's happening in our highest good to push us, right? To push us into our light, that the overwhelming shadow and the oppression that we feel as people from the higher powers of top 1%, government, whatever you want to look at it as, and how the oppression that we're being put under, the pressure that we're being put under, is really to force us into our light, right? To force us to choose better for ourselves and start to disintegrate the structures in place that put us under such pressure and oppression, right? How we can support each other and in our intuitive guidance, right? How we can support the way that we want to feel collectively, that we can connect to other people of like mind and soul to build a better reality, right? That it's not impossible, but that the thought of it being impossible is what truly does make it impossible, right? The change starts internally, and it starts with small steps, right? This Virgoian energy is about liberating the self through nurturing and creating a reality that is fertile for action to make life better, you know. And I used a simple example, you know, of wanting to eat healthier but not being able to afford it. And it's like, okay, so if you can't afford the prices of produce at a supermarket, you know, these big corporate chains of grocery stores, Can you look into local farmer stands? Can you maybe create your own garden in a small space just to offset some of that cost, right? That it would be free. Can you help each other and give those fruits of your labor, so to speak, to people in your life, right? So one zucchini plant goes a long way. You can get a lot of fucking food out of like one plant, you know? So it's like, what can you do on a small scale that starts to help not just yourself and the people closest to you, but does start dismantling the higher structures when you're no longer leaning on them to provide for you what they want to provide for you, to keep you in a submissed kind of state, right? An energetically submissed state. So we're working on getting out of that. And with this new moon energy, the readings that we're going through today, the 4 different secret code names, Warding Wreath, Keyhole Peek, Black Cat, and Chutes and Ladders. Those are the 4 different secret code names that you can resonate to right now. These, for those of you not familiar with the secret code name events, people actually purchase these readings. They are their personal readings. They do it through my Etsy shop, and they purchase these readings for themselves so that they are a personal reading that I'm giving them. The beauty of it being public and in the format of secret code names is that, you know, you who did not necessarily purchase one can be drawn to a particular secret code name, and there's a message in there for you to take away from it, right? Because we are all connected. We all go through similar energetic vibrations and meet each other on different levels. So, you know, if Black Cat stands out to you, even though you didn't purchase it and I didn't say, hey, your secret code name is Black Cat because you purchased this reading, you can still be drawn to it and know that there is something in the message that is meant for you to receive, right? Using your discernibility and being drawn to certain things to understand. So those are the 4 secret code names. I really want to dig in to the subconscious or unconscious belief systems that have been buried and bring them up into surface to look at so that we can start to heal it. All right. For everybody that pops in, for Pineapple patrons, Divine Rebel Diamonds, and Soul Stars, so all membership tiers, the chat is open to members only so that you guys can put some wishes in the chat as we do the live, and I will write them down on bay leaves because we're going to burn them at the end and give them to the universe. Release it like, spirit, this is what I'm wishing for. I accept that if I'm wishing for it, it's because it's in my highest good in some which way, shape, or form to go down the route of that wish, and you're leaving it to the divine to bring it to you, right? And we're all going to hold space with each other to make that happen. So, hey Lala, how you doing? Happy Soul Sunday. And yeah, we're gonna put some wishes out there. So if you have any wishes that you want to leave for spirit, that we would all be together in support of the manifestation of those wishes on behalf of all of our highest good, you can do that in the comments throughout the live stream, and I will write them all down and burn them at the end. We'll release them together. So that is the introduction. We are going to get into the secret code names. What decks, spirit? Fitting for a new moon. We have the True Black Tarot. And our Sacred Rebels Oracle. So we're going to get into this. We're going to get into this. I'm super excited for this energy. And you know what? If you guys have been dealing with some crazy shit, I will say this. The new moon was really coming into its power yesterday because it hit full blown at like 3:40 this morning. And people were really feeling it yesterday and the couple days leading up to it. Lots of deep emotions being triggered up to the surface, and things in the reality were all over the fucking place. Like, just to give you some insight into the day that I experienced yesterday on a super fucking mundane level, right? I work in what is essentially restaurants, right? I work in food. And I walked in and, well, I was scheduled at 7 in the morning, and I commute about 45 minutes. So I leave my house around 6:10. My boss texts me at 6:16, and I didn't get it until 5 of when I was pulling into the parking lot. And she goes, listen, you don't have to come in until 8. It's okay. Like, we're going to start at 8 o'clock instead. So I was like, fuck. So now I got a whole hour to burn, right? And I was contemplating going in anyway and saying, fuck it, and just getting a head start on things. But I was like, whatever. If she doesn't want to start until 8, we'll start at 8. So we get in there and realize that we have a huge case of like meats and cheeses and things like that. Well, the breaker went off in the middle of the night, and we had to throw out about $1,000 worth of meat and cheese upon walking in, and had to clean out the entire case, get that fixed. We also realized that no one had prepped certain vegetables that we needed to make usable first thing in the morning. They were not prepared the day before. So no lettuce was prepped. No onions were prepped. Nobody had been sorting through tomatoes for like 2 or 3 days. And we had to throw out 7 out of 9 cases worth of tomatoes, about $250 worth of tomatoes that we had to throw away. And we were slammed because apparently there was like a huge like pre-St. Patty's Day college bar crawl going on. And so not only were we behind having to do extra things getting in, we were slammed from the time we opened. And it was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, the shit show energy was for real. It was for real. Then to top it off, our truck order came in early in the middle of the lunch rush, which pulled one of us off the line. So typically we have 6 people. We could do it with 5. We ended up doing it with 4 in the middle of what was an endless rush. We were like, oh my God, like how the fuck? How the fuck does everything that could possibly be like shit show in bold letters happen all in the same day? It's like, my God. I was like, well, that's a new moon for you. Like, that's a new moon in Pisces for you. Fuck yeah, we bossed it out anyway. We fucking nailed it to the best of our ability. I'll tell you that. But my God. It was like, what else? Oh, and then half of our order that came in for the lunch rush showed up at another store 15 minutes away. So our boss had to go and leave to pick up the rest of the truck that was delivered to the wrong location. It was like, what? This fucking energy. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. I was like, I can't imagine. I was like, I cannot. And given the moon, right? The new moon is taking place in my 10th house of work. So I was like, well, I was like, that makes sense. I was like, what a fucking day. I was like, I can only imagine what everybody else is going through. I even put up a post on Facebook. I was like, listen, the moon came with some serious shit show energy. Like, it's not you, it's the moon. It's the moon. Prayers to everybody who has like crazy Pisces placements, or a house of like Pisces ruled in the 7th house or 1st house or 4th house. Like, what the fuck? What the royal fuck? I was feeling for everybody yesterday. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, this new moon was fucking wild. It was fucking wild. And what's crazy is if you look at the different placements that are going on in this new moon, the way the energy starts to transition as we get into the full moon on the 25th of March, if people did not make the appropriate changes to what needs to go on in their own life, right, and their circumstances, if the issues are not being addressed properly, if the changes aren't being initiated, and there's no real action, but there's all confusion and fog and whatever, it's going to start to have ramifications that become really clear 2 weeks from now with the full moon. And after the full moon, if there is still a failure to liberate the self and take the steps that need to be taken to correct certain things, well, the total solar eclipse on April 8th is after that. So don't say y'all ain't been warned. Don't say y'all ain't been warned. This moon is child's play compared to what the fuck is going to go down with the total solar eclipse that we're going to be having with Mercury retrograde. That's going to be a show. That's going to be a show. Stay tuned because we will be going over these energies here. And if you are not a member, I highly recommend joining at least as a pineapple patron so that you can stay in on some of the more exclusive messages that Tonya and I give and utilize some of the tools that we go over. Being a pineapple patron, the membership is just $1.99 a month. So we try and make it so that everybody can join in and invest in themselves that way as we put forth some different energy for those who are in alignment with that. So with that said, let's get into these secret code names. We're going to be doing warding wreath first. Warding wreath is first. And if you look up, because what guided me to the secret code name, Spirit was showing me different things like herbs, like hanging over a doorway and wreaths on a doorway. And so I started to, Google it, like, what is this? And there's different histories of using certain herbs to ward off negativity and welcome in certain positive energies. That's where the whole idea of wreaths on a door came from. People used to hang mistletoe over their door, not just at Christmas in the house, right? Mistletoe actually has an energetic purpose. Dill wreaths were used. Like, there's all kinds of different wreaths. So if you want to get creative, I would totally do some research and maybe consider making a wreath, right? A wreath or some kind of herb bundle to hang above your door. Pisces is a very magical sign, so it would make sense that it gets into that kind of energy. So warding wreath is the secret code name. And we're going to see what scandalous soul secret is buried within the self should you be drawn to the secret code name that needs to be addressed, right? That needs to be addressed so that you can move on from this buried energy and make progress in your own manifestation and your own life story, right? So Spirit, what is buried? What is the scandalous soul secret that is buried within the self that needs to be addressed? Interesting. I am holding the deck upright. What else? Clarities, please. All right, one more in clarities. I'm holding this deck upright. I've got 4 out of 7 cards in reverse right now. It's fucking wild. All right. Bottom of the deck is the 4 of discs. Top of the deck is the 6 of swords in the reverse. My deck is not, how is that even possible? That would have been the only card in the deck actually reversed. What is this? The Nine of Cups. What a pretty card. It also changed the top and bottom of the deck. We've got the Lovers on top and the Four of Cups on bottom. All right, Pisces moon, have your way. All right. You right now, you're at a choice point with an opportunity to really love yourself. And there's a soul tie that you have with someone that you are not seeing eye to eye with, but that you are hand in hand with. Look at this Lovers card. It's all about the red thread. If you don't know the mythos around the red thread, I would take the time to humor yourself and Google it. This is the Lovers card. And they are, in fact, holding hands there. I feel like you can't or aren't moving on from a certain wish that you want fulfilled. And I say that because we did have the Six of Swords reversed with the Nine of Cups. Okay. This is gorgeous white fox sitting on a bed of golden coins and golden apples, dreaming, right? Dreaming of this 9 cups, this wish, not being able to get off of a dream. Or it's someone that refuses to let you go. Psychically, if not literally, they refuse to let you go energetically in some which way, shape, or form because they have a wish that they are seeing you as the answer to. The Ace of Wands is in reverse. If that is the Ace of Wands. This is an interesting deck. The card is Age. Reminds me of the Ace of Wands, but it's definitely like a quill. It's clarified by the Hanged Man in reverse. Which gives me this energy of like refusing to grow up or mature as a soul. The Emperor in reverse with the Page of Swords. It's like throwing a fit. A tantrum on the inside, if not literally the outside. On why things cannot be a certain way. The Queen of Cups reversed with the Knight of Wands. The Queen of Cups in reverse is codependent in the emotional sense. Okay. And uses emotion as a form of control. With the Knight of Wands, it is like that tantrum energy. It's like an emotional outburst or an outbursting of emotion, whether it's tears or being angry, right? Whatever the outburst is. It could even be someone being so excited, like a kid, so excited that you feel bad telling them no, right? That they would use their excitement as a way to make you feel guilty for not seeing eye to eye with what it is that they want, right? Someone who has a great deal of inner conflict. I think you already know you have to be independent of this energy or act independently of this energy. But it's like not being willing to take a leap of faith on new beliefs about obtaining what it is that you want. Or someone else, right? Someone else that you deal with that's in your mirror. What's buried in there? You might have moments where you're seriously emotional in your own conversations with the divine, God, source, creator, whatever it is that you pray to outside of yourself, right? Like some people get really sad about certain things and will curse God or the universe. Like, why? You know, like it's almost like having this emotional conversation inside your head with spirit because you just want things a certain way. You just want to experience certain things. Like you have this wish to experience certain things, this dream. But you're throwing tantrums at spirit like it's not giving it to you. And I just had this conversation during the personal reads. I do a weekly personal read with my divine rebels and my soul stars. And it was like, why are you praying to something outside of yourself to make it happen? If you and source, you and spirit, you and the divine are not separate, why are you praying to it like it's separate? What you're really praying to is you. You're praying to you to choose in alignment with the manifestation of your dreams. When you pray to something outside of yourself to make it happen, subconsciously, you're putting out the belief that you are not capable. It must be something outside of yourself that is capable of making it happen because you're not capable of making it happen. Which is why a lot of the times our prayers go quote unquote unanswered, right? I feel like you're taking your frustration out on life, and it's reflecting to you and other people as people who blame life or blame things outside of themselves for being the way that they are, and they are not capable of changing, right? They're immature. And that pointing outside of the self to make things happen, to make things better. It's not my fault that it's not happening. It's everything else in life that keeps it from happening. I think that mentality is within the self. And it's almost like owning the fact that you are the answer to your prayers. Your choices are the answer to your prayers. That spirit is not separate from you. It's not outside of you. Spirit is not outside of you. It's right in here. You are the creator of your story. You are the writer. You are the director. You're the main character, right? And if you're throwing a fit because the story isn't turning out the way you wanted it to, then you have to rewrite the character, the core of the character of the main character, which is you. You have to be willing to grow up, spiritually speaking, right? Hey, storyboard, how you doing? Yeah, I think that you battle with soulmates in the outer experience, not realizing that it's you and your beliefs that create your life. And a part of you, intuitively, you know that there's a denial there. There's a denial there. And that's the refusal to spiritually mature. The denial that you know it's a you issue, that it's an inside job, the denial of that, and the temptation that you take to say the outer is not listening to me, when the outer has nothing to do with your manifestation. You're choosing your experience. Yes, everybody else makes choices, but you choose to deal with those specific people. You choose to stay in these specific locations or go to this specific job. You make all the choices. So how is it out their's fault? It's really not. And I think that the reason why this message is so important coming through for you now in this divine time is because you are, in fact, at a crossroads, needing to truly use your masculine aspect within the self to listen to how you want to feel and start answering your own prayers. Start being the answer. Start making the changes, even if it's just one small step at a time to improve your reality, like maybe setting a healthy boundary with someone who gets on your fucking nerves. Like setting a healthy boundary might be one small step in the right direction. And then once you take that step, you can look at taking a different one, making another step, right? Until eventually you take enough steps that you get to where you want to be. Really, story, that's cool. What a voice. Mm-hmm. Like, could you think about it for a second? Like, Andreas Botticelli, right? Or Bocelli, however you say his name. Opening the gates of heaven at the Oscars. There was a series of small steps that he had to take in order to get at that stage. It didn't just happen. He didn't just pray to God and it just happened. He prayed and answered his own prayers by taking the steps, one small step at a time, in order to get there. It didn't just happen. You got to be willing to take the first step. It's a small step. It's not a huge leap. Sometimes the small step is literally just having faith that maybe there's a way that things are going to turn out that you can't see, but that it's in your highest good, and source spirit within loves you, and you're going to heed yourself, right? That you're going to love yourself and heed your highest good and take each step as you're guided to feel what it is you want to feel in this life, to have what you want to have in this life, that it's possible for you, that it's not impossible, because it's not something out there that you're depending on for an answer. It's within yourself. And if it's within yourself and you can control that, then it has to manifest. It has to. Your highest good has to. Your prayers have to get answered. It's empowering to accept that you are in control of your manifestation and that you are unwilling to live your life in a way that would produce a result that is not what you want. Don't just chase your dreams. Catch them. Catch them. Take the steps. What's the guidance? What's the guidance? I shit you not. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. Every journey starts with a single step. Every journey starts with a single step. Just take the first fucking step. Just take it. Just take it. Card number 12. I'm going to read just a piece of it for you. It says, you're on a journey. Yes. It is an internal journey. But there is also a physical expression of this journey that is going to become increasingly important to the fulfillment of your destiny this lifetime. Your journey has started on the inside, but its destination will be the physical expression of your internal healing. This journey will draw upon what you have learned and mastered over the course of your life, so much so that you may feel as though your life experiences have prepared you just for this particular adventure. You have all that you need within you. This is not a time to worry about what you are going to take with you. From within your heart, you will sense what needs to come along for the ride and what is best left behind for now. You may be surprised at exactly how much can be left behind without you feeling concerned or anxious. You'll be able to travel far lighter than you ever imagined possible. To be best equipped for this journey, you will need a lightness of heart and the realization that change can be an incredible blessing, even if what you are leaving behind is something you found secure, safe, familiar, or comforting. Just as the butterfly leaves the chrysalis behind when it is time to spread its newly formed wings, so too are you ready to leave behind what once was and embrace what is more appropriate for you at this time. There is an element to your journey you are embarking upon that is unknown. Perhaps it is news to you that you are even taking a journey. However, the realization that traveling along a familiar path brings no guarantees is more likely. This open, unscripted quality of your journey will help you gain the most from your experiences. You see, this journey is a spiritual gift. It's an invitation from the great loving heart of the universe, calling you into something that you would not have otherwise found. You are not supposed to know all the details, nor how it's going to work out before you set out. You are just meant to take one step after the other, again and again, so that you can receive the gifts that are headed your way. This oracle brings you particular guidance that the apparently small steps you are taking in an area of your life important to you right now are actually far more powerful and constructive than you realize. Sometimes we are gaining ground, but the effect is not immediately obvious, and it doesn't mean that nothing is happening. It simply means that the effects of your actions are cumulative, and soon they will begin to overflow into the physical world with a positive impact that may surprise you. The oracle brings you the message to keep going. If you've been doing a lot of inner work and are frustrated or concerned that you are not seeing the results translate into the physical world, keep faith, as the physical manifestation of your inner work is coming. Remember that you have all the resources you need and then some. Your inner and outer journeys are blessed with positive energy, and all you need to do is keep going one step at a time. One step at a time. You've been taking so many steps. Don't stop right before you hit the top. Just take the next step. Whatever that step is for you. Free yourself. Free yourself. Because that's exactly what this is. That's exactly what it is. All right. Warding Wreath. That was your message. We are getting into secret codename Keyhole Peek. Secret codename Keyhole Peek. So those drawn to the secret codename who resonate with it. And it's interesting because when Spirit gave me the image for the secret codename, it was peering through like an old-fashioned keyhole. And it's all dark around the keyhole on the side that I was viewing it from, but through it, there was what felt like a magical paradise in there. You can see it, like feel it, the energy in the air. So this Keyhole Peek, we'll see what Spirit has insight for you. What scandalous soul secret is buried in there that's keeping you from your next stage in your evolution? Insight, please. Secret codename Keyhole Peek. Anyone more in clarities, please? Lovers is on the bottom. The Hermit is on top. Gemini, Virgo energy. I've also got Libra, Taurus, and Leo out here. I feel like looking at the top and bottom of the deck, the Tower is under that with the Lovers. Okay. I feel like you feel like you're alone, even though you know you're connected to someone, even if it is a tangled mess between you. That it might feel like someone stabbed you in the heart, and it's like the dagger is still there, but you're not necessarily realizing the dagger's made of ice and it melts to where it's not really there anymore. I feel like the brighter you shine in your healing, that fire within the self, the faster that blade disappears. Like, what knife did they think that they could hit you with? That it would cause a permanent wound, a knife you couldn't remove when your soul fire melts it away. And vice versa. Like you might have gotten stabbed in the heart, so to speak. But whoever you're dealing with feels like you stabbed them in the eyes. Like they did not see what transpired. They didn't see you doing that. But just like your soul fire helps that weaponized energy disappear. Just like your heart can become stronger, brighter, so can their vision. It's almost like you left a hole, right? We're talking about Keyhole Peek. It's almost like this, all this metaphorical stuff, forgive me, fucking Pisces moon. It's almost like using the ice to create the wound, left a hole from which the light was always meant to shine through. They were meant to open up your heart to loving yourself in such a way. And you were meant to open up their eyes to themselves and seeing things differently in such a way that if y'all did not go after each other energetically like you did as souls, you would not be seeing or feeling the same way. I feel with the Six of Wands clarified by the Five of Wands that you are struggling with the victory because you're still perceiving it as a loss. You're still perceiving yourself as alone, not realizing how much you guys helped each other conquer something that was a big deal, right? In the healing. That the pain started pushing you into your power. You still look at loss like a loss and are losing sight of the gain, right? The gratitude for the gain. The Ten of Cups with the King of Cups. You're more emotionally matured, emotionally conservative, emotionally intelligent because of everything that transpired. The Page of Wands with the Ten of Wands. It literally looks like the figure is running at the pile of logs with this wand, right? Like he's about to set it on fire. You got these crazy, they look like stag beetles. I'm hearing that Adele song, Set Fire to the Rain. Oh, you got to listen to that song. Wow. The Eight of Cups with the Strength card. You did not know how strong you were until you had to walk away from such a person. The King of Swords with the Empress, because you know on a high level what you deserve to receive. You knew it. You knew it deep within yourself that you deserve to receive the highest love, the highest manifestation there is. And it wasn't manifesting because you were with this person. This person was preventing it. And at the same time, right, simultaneously pushing you to discover it within yourself that you deserve better than that. You didn't know it. You did not know that you deserved better than them. Better than the way they were loving you or treating you. You did not know that you deserved better, which is why you felt so attached to them. Until they literally ripped a hole inside your heart so that your light could shine through there. And now you know what you deserve. You know you deserve better than that. You know what it is that you want. They weren't it. And without this person, you would not have that self-awareness, that self-deservingness, that acknowledgement that you have now without them. So why would you feel alone? When the greatest soul connection you ever felt came through to offer you the biggest gift, the biggest lesson, the greatest gain of self. They came in and offered you the greatest gift of self, the ability to see yourself and your worth, because you didn't see it before. You're struggling with the victory because you're not, or at least weren't prior to this reading, seeing it for the victory that it was, right? Let's get some guidance. Sacred Fool. Card number 40. Sacred Fool. The Fool is a great rebel, able to thwart convention and tell the truth without restraint. Your heart is a wonderful, powerful, sacred fool. It cares not for the right way to do things. It cares not for what the mind says is real and not real. It lives according to an inner wisdom that cannot be dictated to or controlled by anything. It loves, it lives, and it is what it is. This oracle heralds a time, now or imminent, when you will feel inspired, alive, and passionate for what you can offer to the world. It says to you, don't try to be appropriate. Don't try to be socially acceptable and worry about what others may think about what you're doing. Just be. If you want to wear a mad hat whilst doing so, fine. The sacred fool in you is willing to leave behind what has been because it no longer feels right to stay attached to it. The sacred fool in you trusts life completely. It would never occur to this part of you to try and outsmart life or resist its flow. It recognizes that the mind is a monkey puppet on strings. More often than not, it is cajoled into fear when it could have been playfully dwelling in the radical spontaneity of life. So, the sacred fool in you urges your mind to let itself be pulled into joy by your heartstrings, not into fear and doubt by the controlling machines of mass energy. This oracle brings you a message that it's time for you to play. It's time for you to let life happen in a completely unreserved and unscripted way. The more bizarre, left of field, unexpected, and apparently ridiculous, the better. This might not feel safe or appropriate at first, and that is okay. That is good, actually. It is a sign that you are breaking with your own self-imposed conventions. It is time to move beyond them now because a bigger life adventure is calling to you. And this is wonderful news. It is the desire of life to operate more radically through you so that you become the conduit through which miracles and crazy wild synchronicity can occur. You are becoming more electric. You are more plugged into the apparent randomness of life. Apparent because there is a refined intelligence behind it all. The sacred fool goes with this without having to understand any of it. which is good. Trying to access even one genuine glimpse of life's unfathomable genius would probably make one's head explode. As you take this journey, you may find that people around you are challenged. This might unintentionally cause them to rethink the way they live their lives. As you take the journey, you may find that people around you are challenged. You might unintentionally cause them to rethink the way they live their lives. They may question whether the way they are living is the only way for them or even the best way. At first, they may react rather than take responsibility. The sacred fool in you doesn't engage with this. It is what it is, and it rises and falls as it will. It doesn't stop you from your merry dance of unconventional being. If you find yourself making choices that have others questioning your sanity, then you are right on course. You may feel that you are quite possibly going insane, but you are not crazy. You are just approaching enlightened awareness. There is a moment, sometimes rather a long one, when we wake up to life, shed our attachment to mass opinion, and float in a completely different state of being. We might find that no one is really able to understand or connect with us to the point that we question our own state of mind. Stay with that. It will pass, and you will eventually see that you are becoming sane in an insane world. The tables will turn and you will gain greater inner freedom and creative juice. Stay on your path. Stay on the journey. Remember to take nothing too seriously, and it will all work out perfectly. Keyhole Peek, your secret code name. Shirley! Welcome back! Welcome back. And to you, Keyhole Peek, welcome back. Welcome back, because I feel that prior to this moment in time that you and me are here sharing this energy, right, and having this conversation, prior to now, you may have still felt the pain of the dagger in the heart, so to speak, not realizing what a key it was. That it left the chance to open what is essentially your magical life. Prior to what felt like a stabbing in the chest, right? It felt like pain, but when it was removed, it literally left a keyhole to a door within yourself that was not there prior. It gave you an opportunity to unlock your motherfucking magic. Hold gratitude. Hold gratitude. And in return, you gave the same gift. You gave the same gift to that person. What a fucking blessing that is. Blessing that is. That's what Spirit wants you to do. Live your life and play. Live your life with the rules. You love because you're guided to love. You do because you're guided to do. And it's not because anybody said it was right or wrong. You can give a fuck about other people's opinions. You went on that path. You went on that journey despite everybody and everything telling you this or that. And it literally helped you tap in to the most magical place inside you because it all occurred. That's amazing. That's amazing. You had no idea how strong you were or how strong you are still able to become. For real. For real. Keyhole Peek. It was my pleasure to read for you. My pleasure. Miss Shaley, long time no see. I missed you too. I missed you so much. I missed you so much. I'm glad you're back. New Moon in Pisces left him a crazy message. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Oh, man. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm super glad you were able to renew. That's great. Remember, we are always taking our own divine advice. Just remember that. Spirit is always having the same conversation with us that we have with other people. So keep your eye open. Keep your eye open and don't fall back to sleep. The mirror is always working. The mirror is always working. Use it as your greatest tool to your own healing. All right. Moving forward. Secret code name. Black Cat. Secret code name Black Cat. Yeah, listen to your gut. Listen to your gut. There is a method to the divine madness, always. There is a method to the divine madness, always. God knows, hindsight is 2020. All right. Secret codename Black Cat. And those who resonate and are drawn to the secret code name. What is the scandalous soul secret buried in there that is keeping you from your highest manifestation? What is the secret that your soul has buried that needs to come up to the surface now so that you can address it, close the doors on it properly, and move forward into your higher manifestation? Insight, please. I'm not quite a waitress. I'm an assistant manager, but yeah, food nonetheless. Yeah, I was off for 2 days and came back and it was fucking crazy. All right. What else? Give me one more. Age is on the bottom. And the 4 of coin is on bottom. All right. I feel that you I feel like you're kind of caught in someone's web. But that you're at a point where you're willing to take a leap on the inner work. Because you want to experience joy, you want to experience bliss, you want to experience connection. Even if that means going on your own and closing out cycles. You want to attract contracts that water you. That is the Ace of Wands. You want a whole new foundation. You want peace. You want overflow. And I think you've reached this point where you are willing to do whatever you need to do to get it. It's like a deep refusal to survive, that you are dead set on thriving no matter what that means. Like a fucking freight train. Like no one's going to get in your way. It's this mindset that you have. And yet you're caught in this web and stuck on something. And the reason why it's not moving forward, what you're not seeing, why the train that you are is stopped on tracks. And you might hate me for saying it. But there's a codependency connected to the perspective or perception of duty. Duty. What your duty or your job is, and what the duty of other people and their job is. And how it is supposed to benefit each other in a certain way. I don't think you realize that you've put yourself and others with it in a box. There's a lot of snake medicine on these cards. A lot. Ouroboros energy, all kinds of different snake energy on these cards. It's funny because I was watching a YouTube reel and she's fucking hilarious. I forget her name. And she does these kinds of skits where there's different parts of her body that communicate with each other. She's fucking hilarious. Haley Morris. And her brain and her heart were arguing over whether or not that they should watch Planet Earth, because the last time they watched Planet Earth, Heart had a meltdown because the deer dies, right? It's the circle of life, right? It happens. And I think that sometimes we forget that in the duality of our own nature, that yes, we have this gentle energy that consumes what is most natural to its environment, that's not destructive to any other facet of the energy in the world, right? But then there is a time when the other part of our nature has to seize the opportunity to nourish itself, even if the cost results in someone else not feeling like they've been robbed, right, so to speak. I think that you might have issue with one or the other. Whether you have issue being the snake that eats the mouse because you feel bad for the mouse, or if you have issue being the mouse because you're constantly looking around nervous that someone or something is going to consume you and your energy, right? But that there's facets of both of them within you. And that it's a part of life. You cannot always be the mouse and always be afraid that some other energy more powerful and bigger than you is going to completely suck your life force energy out, you know, and be the end of you. Can't live your life in fear like that. And at the same time, you can't just be the snake and consume whatever you want to consume and have no moral compass about what the fuck you're doing to other people, right? Just because you see a mouse doesn't necessarily mean you're hungry. You don't have to eat it just because it's there. You know what I mean? Like, time, place. Sometimes you gotta eat. Sometimes you gotta eat. And sometimes you will be eaten, right? Metaphorically speaking, energetically speaking, sometimes you will eat and sometimes you will be eaten. And it's not anything you have to feel bad about. It's not anything you have to fear. It's just a part of life. Sometimes people use us to get to the next step in their journey. And our energy gets eaten. And they literally use us and go to the next stage of their life. And if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't fucking be where they are now. And they don't give a fuck. Right? It happens. The beauty of the metaphor is that we're not actually unaliving. You know what I mean? It's energy. People fill us up just like we fill other people up. Energy flows wherever it needs to go in order to best serve the highest good of everybody in one way or the other. It's not like you're maliciously using anybody. Maybe the person who quote unquote used you didn't really use you. Maybe you perceived it that way. Maybe it wasn't that way and it just worked out that way. But either way, there is a time and a place to move on from things. Sometimes we invest and it doesn't work out in the way that we thought. Sometimes other people invest in us and we're better off when we leave, and they feel slighted after the fact. It was never your intention to hurt them or slight them or use them in any way. It's just you benefited from them and it didn't work out and you moved on, you know. It was never malicious. And I think that that is kind of where you're inside this battle. Maybe you don't want to feel like you have to take a loss, right? That you're attached to something or stuck in the web of something. You don't want to feel like you have to take a loss if you've been investing in someone or something else for a while and know that it's not working out, but there's this refusal to let it go because the energy is not equally exchanged yet. Or you feel guilty, right? Leaving a situation that you obviously benefited from and are better off now than you were when they came into your life, but you don't feel guided to stay with them. But guilt is keeping you, right? But guilt is keeping you. Because you know that the exchange, the energy exchange, has not been equalized. It hasn't been reciprocated to balance yet. I think what you need to understand with this energy is that compassion has a place both ways. And that it is not necessarily your job or anybody else's job to balance out the energy exchange all the time. If you've got to go because you're guided to go and are only staying because you feel bad because they've given more than you've given, you have to accept that the divine will bless them and balance out the scales where you cannot, because you are guided to move forward. And you know, just like spirit knows, it's not fair. And you have to be able to accept that spirit will balance out the scales for that person in order for you to move forward when you're guided to move forward. And vice versa. That you cannot stay in a situation where it's not fair, that you've invested more than you've gotten in return and they haven't reciprocated yet. You have to be able to let them go, knowing that spirit knows that the energy that split was not fair, and that spirit will come through and manifest the debt that was owed, the energetic debt, that it will return to you in another way via another person or situation, and that the person you're seeking it from is not responsible to balance that scale. That's why when we talk about past life debts and people coming back to have debts paid from past lives, energy debts, relationship debts from past lives, like it's not even real. We repeat these cycles thinking that we're owed from certain soulmates or that we owe certain soulmates, and we're trying to balance the scales. And it's like spirit does that. Life does that naturally. Sometimes the mouse is allowed to get away. Sometimes the mouse can feel that it's being preyed upon by a snake, and it can get away and not have to sacrifice itself for the snake to eat. It can find another fucking mouse. It can find something else entirely. It doesn't have to be you that sacrifices itself to nourish a snake. Life has a way of making sure that we all eat. And when it's our time to give, it's our time to give. We are all each other's angels here. No one's our enemy. It might not feel that way all the time, but no one's actually our enemy. We're all each other's angels here. Yeah, it's fucking painful sometimes. Yeah, it's fucking painful. Yeah, we feel like we lost out sometimes. We feel like we got the short end of the fucking stick. We feel like we got robbed. Robbed of love, robbed of money, robbed of time, robbed. We feel it. Deeply. It fucking hurts. Yes. But if you stay trapped in the fact that someone owes you, the only person you're hurting is yourself, because you're not trusting that the divine is going to work it out and bring something in for you to make up for it. You've got to trust that if spirit, God, source, universe, whatever, guided you to give in such a way that someone else could flourish, that someone else could thrive and move on, you have to trust that the divine knows the debt it owes you. The person doesn't owe you. The divine owes you. The divine guided you to give, and the divine owes you now. It has nothing to do with the other person. Nothing. You are an angel in their life. Someone else is going to be an angel in yours. Eventually, you will be an angel in theirs, just like they're an angel in yours. It will be reciprocal. The scales will balance. Scales will balance. Justice, it always does. If someone maliciously took from you, took your energy maliciously, there's karma for that too. The eagles eat the snakes. Circle of life. You got to trust. You got to trust that the divine pays all debts. It pays all debts. Let's get some guidance. Like, you don't have a string of bad luck, right? Black cat. You do not have a string of bad luck. What you have is a very magical femininity that attracts people who don't know how to reciprocate, that are learning and being given the choice to learn how to reciprocate. And when they don't, spirit owes you, and they owe spirit because they didn't learn what they were guided and sent here to learn. Now they owe spirit, right? It's like spirit put them in a school with you and gave them a tuition. It's a tuition cost. This is the cost for you to go to school with this person. You can learn the lesson or not. Well, you still need to get paid as the teacher. The universe is going to pay you. And that person is still going to owe a debt for their tuition, regardless of whether the teacher is or isn't in their life anymore. Spirit works out all debts. Yeah. Your guidance card. Free from judgment, free to love. Card number 39. I highlighted this one. It says, imagine a world so infused with bliss, love, and wonder that you naturally and always feel as safe. Life mothers us with kindness, and sometimes when we need it to grow, through challenge as well. Accepting this mothering in its gentle and fierce phases can be difficult. Yet there are those brave enough in spirit to go forth onto their life path with absolute trust in the universe. Some are even part of her plan to help others so that they too can surrender fear and live more freely. Your devotion, your energy, your belief in their value, and your willingness to be the wild tigress or the supportive shoulder to lean upon, is genuinely encouraging and respectful of people. This oracle brings you confirmation that you are amongst the universe's clan of nurturing spirits that help to honor life on this planet. You are also being asked to open up to receive more nurturing. It might make you feel a little vulnerable at first, but you will get used to valuing yourself enough to know that needing love and affection from another is an opportunity, not only for you to receive, but for someone else to give, which involves them being received too. Allow life to support you. The universe helps the helpers so they can keep helping. If you've been asking life for a solution to a specific difficulty you've been having, this oracle comes with the message that a solution is in gestation right now. The situation is already being sorted out, and the resolution will come to fruition. So hold tight and wait for the imminent birth of that resolution. This oracle brings you a message about love. You may find that you are loving or soon will love in a different way. You may worry about this love given that it defies what you have known or been taught about it. Perhaps you're becoming able to love another tremendously even though you don't have much of a personal relationship with them. You might question if love is real. It is real. It is just happening at a different level to the love and attachment you experience when you are involved in personal relationships with someone. It is not more or less, it's just a different facet of love. It may be that you are opening up to love the planet and her creatures, including animals. You may feel passionately purposeful about giving your time and energy to causes that protect and nurture. You are affirmed in this love too. The universal mother is operating through you to nurture life, and she will support you in your work so that you can continue to come from love and not be drained, depleted, or lost in despair or fear of futility. Finally, this oracle has a message for those who may be feeling alone or lonely and in need of greater nurturing from others. You are asked to stop, relax, center, settle into your body, and feel your connection with life itself. The air in your lungs is the same air that moves the trees. The water in your blood is the same water that fills the oceans and is moved by the phases of the moon. The flesh of your body is the same substance as the body of the earth itself. The heat in your digestive system is the same fire and heat as that from the sun. Feel this connection. Then do something nice for someone else without agenda. Make a donation, even just a small smile. Say a prayer. Send out a good thought, or make a wish for another. That's it. You have connected to life again, and in doing so, life can connect with you, and so it shall. You're a giver. You're a giver. And you probably have been consumed by snakes and are afraid to give right now. But you don't actually need to be afraid to give. Because when what you have given to moves on, It's because they were never meant to reciprocate. They needed the love to move forward. But Spirit had every intention of paying you back for that debt, every intention from the gate. And you allowing them to move on with your beautiful energy that supported them was necessary. And the exiting of them allows Spirit to bring in what can fill you back up when you're not afraid to be out there and be loving, because that's who you are. Why be afraid to love if you're not really taking losses? Because Spirit's not an asshole. It's gonna pay its debts. Right? The universe is not a dick, okay? It pays its debts. For all you know, the person that you gave and poured relentlessly into someone else that bit them. Spirit owed them a debt. It sent you to them to fill them back up so that they can move forward. And now Spirit owes you a debt. It's literally the cycle of life until eventually Spirit has you and another ready and full to pour into each other and not need to drain. That's how things are working. Don't look at it like you're taking losses. Look at it like you're being divinely placed at the right time with the right people so that everybody can move forward and thrive and enjoy life. You included. You included. Hey, Megan, how you doing? Yeah. Don't judge the situations. Don't judge the situations because you don't understand the situations. Truly, on a spiritual level, you might not understand it. So don't judge it as being bad or awful or terrible when it was a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing that we're able to give. Like, I don't regret one bit of the love that I gave any of my exes. I don't regret one bit removing myself from people who were pouring into me because I needed to keep moving. I needed to keep moving. And they needed to stop pouring into me. They needed to. They needed to be poured into, and I couldn't do it at the time. I don't regret leaving. Find that place within yourself where you have no regrets for what you've given, no regrets for what you've received from others when you've had to go, and trust that everybody will find what is meant to reciprocate with them when that time's right. That Spirit has that lined up for you and everybody else too. Because it fucking loves us. At the end of the day, Spirit loves all of us. Universe, we don't want to suffer. No one does. Right? All right. Moving forward. Secret code name, Chutes and Ladders. Secret code name, Chutes and Ladders. Interesting, because I legit have not played that fucking game since I was like a little kid, and I'm pretty sure I'd only played it like once or twice. I don't think we ever really owned it in my house. I remember playing it with like a friend or at those weird little summer camp things down the park, you know. At least they used to have. I don't even know if they have those things anymore. But the idea was that you land on certain spaces and you can go up the ladder and skip a bunch of spaces. And then if you hit other spaces, you're stuck taking the chute and go back down a bunch of spaces, right? But that the beauty is, even though you're making big leaps of progress and big falls in progress, that eventually you're gonna hit the end, right? No matter how many times you go down the chute, you're still gonna get to the end. You can hit every ladder, bang, 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 right in a row and reach the end like nothing, out of nowhere. So no risk, no reward. Right? It's like playing high stakes poker. Every time you roll the dice with a choice, you take a gamble and you don't know if it's going to work out wildly or fail wildly or just lead you to the next roll of the dice. You know, you don't know, but at the end of the day, it's fun. It's a game. It's fun to play, right? It's fun to play. And that's why we roll the dice. That is why we roll the dice. So Spirit, please, for secret code name, chutes and ladders, and those who are drawn to it, what is the scandalous soul secret buried in there that is keeping the highest manifestation from coming into being? What is the secret buried in the soul that needs to come up so that we can evolve to the next stage of our life? Insight, please, for chutes and ladders. What else? Insight, clarities. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Cups. Top of the deck is the Queen of Coin. I feel like you know how much you care. You know how much you care to the point that your awareness of other people knowing how much you care puts you in a very defensive position. Especially people who have experienced your ability to care for them before. To even overlook things. Because you cared so much. That you would have the emotional or psychic wherewithal to put aside a pain that they put on you or a painful experience that you had with them, that you would be able to put it aside to help them because you care. And that people in the past have probably taken advantage of it, how much you care. That they knew they could hurt you and that you would still care. And because you have that ability, which some people do not, you know that having that ability, as powerful as it is, if you don't use your discernment, people abuse it. People will abuse your kind and compassionate, merciful nature. Your forgiving nature, your ability to set certain things aside because you caring about them and their healing is more important to you than the pain you've felt. I think you're done with grieving other people who don't put in the work to release their own spiritual crosses, right, that they bear, so to speak. That they hold on to shame. And they hold on to feeling unworthy of your love, that they hold on to it, that they're not willing to do the work spiritually. You're done grieving people's inability to save themselves. The Queen of Wands with the Knight of Swords. I think you're still very much communicating what you desire in your heart for other people, but that you are wildly defensive against people who have bit you before. Soulmates who hurt you. Like you are shielding yourself from them, blocking yourself from them, blocking them from you, but you're still wielding fire behind the block. It's not a matter of, I'm going to drop my shield to try and help you again this time because I care. Now you care so much, not just about them, but yourself, that you're holding up the shield and putting that block up because you know if they were to try and bite you, you'd set them on fucking fire. And you don't want to have to do that. And you don't trust them not to bite you, which is why you're blocking your energy from them and vice versa. Because you know damn right well, if they did not heal and they're coming to you again for you to drop your guard, please let me take advantage of your better nature. Pretend I never hurt you. Please help me. I need it. You're like listening to your intuition. You don't believe that they're actually ready and willing to use your caring in the way that it was meant to be used. You're shielding yourself from them because you know damn right well, they go to bite you, you will set them on fucking fire. You are not just going to get bit anymore. Like you are super protective of yourself. Because you're fucking tired of people hurting you. You're tired of people that you love hurting you. They bit me once, shame on you. Bit me twice, shame on me. bite me a third time, and I'm going to feel real fucking stupid. So I'm blocking that from happening. I'm not going to sit here and feel fucking stupid. I drop this fucking shield and you betray my kindness for weakness. And it will be the biggest regret. And you don't want to have to go there. You don't want to have to go there with people. I think in your nature, you want to be able to drop that shield and try helping them again. You want to, but only if they're genuinely going to utilize the energy you're giving. You're not going to fucking waste it. You're not going to waste your energy. You're not going to take on their pain and let them project their pain at you and make it yours. This might be new for you. If this is something that's buried a part of you, it's fucking fierce. Fierce. Because you're like, it is not my job to fucking fix you. You are not my project. It is not my job to fix you. Like, they might be younger than you because you're in the Queen's energy over the Knights. But they're not fucking pages. They are not fucking pages. They are not children. And you're fucking sick of their bullshit. Like, if they haven't learned by now, it is not your fucking job. Your love of self, the white wolf, right? The white wolf. Is defensive as all hell. You're not completely armored up, but you've got enough. You're still vulnerable. You're still real. Your heart space is still real. It's not fake. It's not false. Your heart is real. It's vulnerable. That's why your shields are up and you're wielding fire. That was clarifying the Nine of Wands. You've learned. You've learned compassion and mercy for yourself. I think a part of you is still coming to terms with the fact that you have to have such harsh boundaries with someone or people in general. Because it's not in your nature to not help anyone. It is in your nature to help. Your heart feels for people. That's your nature. Strong empathy. But just because you're empathic, just because you can sympathize or empathize and feel and care for someone, you're not willing to look foolish. You're not willing to feel foolish. You're not willing to be taken advantage of and waste your time. And I think that that is probably new for you. You might have spent a lot of your life sacrificing yourself, putting yourself in harm's way with certain energies and people, right? Dark energies, shadow energies, vampiric energies, whatever. You have a long history of putting yourself into the fire for other people. And I think it's new for you, wielding the fire instead, right? Wielding the fire instead and putting up those hard lines, like hard boundaries. Like you will not cross. You will not cross into my energy space and experience my kindness until I know for certain that you ain't gonna fucking bite me because you're willing to heal. And if you don't know it like you know it, like you know it, you're like, keep your fucking distance. Like, no. Because I don't want to fucking burn you. I don't want to fucking burn you. Keeping space. Your guidance card. Bring it into form. Crazy ripples that are coming off of those steps. It's in your bones. Card number 41. Beautiful dreamer. You can imagine wonderful worlds of light. You can dream up so many possibilities. Now it is time to bring those possibilities of light into the world. They need to be more than ideas. They need to live, to manifest. The world needs not only your dreams, beautiful as they are, but also your creations. Get thee to thy desk, thy easel, thy computer. Work, beautiful dreamer. Don't just dream. Create. You are being asked to honor yourself with a commitment to complete your inspired tasks. This will help you to grow, and that is a wonderful reason to commit. But there is another reason too. You know that your inspired ideas are worth translating into practical form so that other people can access them and experience something special too. My ears like ringing like crazy right now. If you've been thinking about writing a book, painting a picture, or acting on an inspiration or idea, then this oracle is bringing you an unequivocal yes. Do it. Now, don't dally or dither about the details or worry about how it is all going to work out. The universe loves a bold spirit. Once you take a step, it will rush toward you like an enthusiastic and chivalrous lover, opening doors, hand gently guiding at your lower back as you are moved forward. You will promptly be provided with all that is needed to take the next step. There is sacrifice inherent in translating the perfection of an idea into the limited physical form. Although something may be lost when turning a multidimensional concept of endless potential into something concrete, this oracle guides you to realize that there is much more to be gained. You must become free of this inspiration so that you can receive your next inspiration. It is already waiting for you. So on you must go. This oracle also confirms that the information you need to translate your ideas into form will be provided according to the higher wisdom of life. It may or may not happen by traditional routes. Even if it seems unimaginable, when it is time for something to be born into form, nothing can stop it. It will happen. If the oracle of the sacred fool has also been drawn, which it was in the last reading, if the sacred fool has also been drawn, feel assured that your path of success is not going to unfold according to the usual rules and regulations. It might happen in ways that surprise you and others, but it will happen. It is meant to be. If you have not drawn that card but feel drawn to read its message, then you should do so. You might want to go back and listen to Black Cat. You've got a world of good things coming to you. And I think the reason why the universe has you so hell-bent on protecting your energy and your time is because you are absolutely meant to spend it in some beautifully creative way filled with choices that put your life in such a direction that the result cannot be missed. That the result cannot be missed, you know? It might have not been Black Cat. It might have been Keyhole Peek. It came out in one of the readings. Keyhole Peek. If not Black Cat, then Keyhole Peek. But yeah, this is where you stop wasting your energy and your time, quote unquote wasting, because energy is never wasted, but that is why you're not being guided to give it now the way you were previously, right? Because you have better things to do with your energy. You're cutting certain energies off, certain people off, certain situations off, because universe and spirit is guiding you to put your energy somewhere else, and that is going to open doors, right? That is going to open doors and change things for you in radical, beautifully radical ways. So look forward to what your self-compassion and self-mercy provide you on a real note. All right, we're getting into Bayleaf wishes. So if y'all want to wish, let me know in the chat. I'm going to write it on Bayleaf wish and give it to the universe to work out. We're going to give it to the universe to work out. You don't have to put a wish in there if you don't want to. It's fun. Especially because we're all going to hold intentions to do it together. I'm going to wish for all y'all to hit the lottery. Hell, one of you might. I want to wish it for all of you. I should probably put that card back in the deck first. So let me know in the comments if you've got a wish. I am not a genie. We all know the rules to genie wishes. We have trust and divine faith here that certain things that are meant to be will be. All right, let's see. Our first wish. I'm definitely wishing for y'all to hit the lottery. I really hope you do. I hope it changes your life and everybody's life that you love for the better. There we go. There's our wish. For you. That wish is on fire. You can't have fun with manifestation. Let me tell you. Let's see what else. Let's put some wishes out there for inner union. Inner child healing. That's joy. That is joy. We got that on one side, inner child healing and joy and inner union. All that wonderfulness. You can claim it for yourself. There we go. Ooh. This is why I've got fucking tweezers, y'all. That is why I've got tweezers. Shit is hot. Let's see. For those of you, because I just got the ping for it, who have a pet that you're hoping that their health improves, or at the very least that they're not suffering with certain things anymore. I got that wish for you. Give that to the universe. Trust that Spirit's got it. Trust that Spirit's got it. Trust. There we go. I don't actually have any pets, so I hope one of y'all can appreciate that one. Know that we're holding space for you and your babies. Let's see. For those of you with children, and you worry about their mental health sometimes, we're going to do one for your children's mental health, especially if they just deal in general with a lot of psychologically demanding situations. Okay. It's not all of it is always our fault, right? As parents, sometimes they have friends that put a lot of mental energy on them. Sometimes they have other parents that do a fucking number on them. So children's mental health, we'll put that out there. Put a wish out for our children. They're strong in mind. All right. Let's do one. This is a big one. Let's just put a wish out there for the world. To remember how beautifully human we all are. The world remembers its humanity. That we are not so different from each other. All right, so we'll put that out there. Give that one, Spirit. I know that's above most of our pay grades. Leave that one to the divine. What other wish? The sign you've been asking for. I hope if you've been asking for a sign recently, that you get it clear as day. That you couldn't miss that sign if you tried. That Spirit gives you a clear answer. And that you're willing to receive it for what it is. Spirit always does its eye roll when we ask for another sign. Like, I don't like that sign, Spirit. Give me another one. That's not enough. And Spirit's like, all right, let's line up sign number 27. And let's do a wish for a small but powerful miracle for whomever needs it. Make it especially potent, Spirit, if they wish the small miracle for someone else. For real. Y'all don't have any more. I'm going to do one more. Receiving the manifestation that comes knowing all debts are gone, that they're not there anymore, that the debts that we have to each other, not just money, but that the debts are an illusion. Receiving the manifestation that comes knowing all the debts are gone. You're welcome. And that concludes our new moon in Pisces. So I thank you all for joining in the live and in the replay. Your energy is loved and appreciated and seen and felt. And I love you. And we will catch you next time. Bye, everyone.